The newest season of HBO's Hard Knocks debuts this Tuesday, and it's got a capital region connection. The pride of Guilderland, Paul Camarata, joins us Tuesday, August 9th. Paul, for those who may not be a fan of Hard Knocks or maybe have never seen Hard Knocks, and this is their intro, their basic 101, let some maybe casual fans in on what is HBO's Hard Knocks series.
So Hard Knocks is a series that we've done at NFL Films since the 2001 summer when the Baltimore Ravens, then the defending champion Baltimore Ravens, were the first team featured. It is an embedded documentary series where we shoot and edit and air the show essentially in real time. So we are living with an NFL team for, as we say, the hardest 5 weeks of their lives leading up to the kickoff of the season. The show began in 2001. There's been 18 seasons. There was a year off here and there. I believe this is the 18th team, and it's the Detroit Lions featured this year leading up to kickoff. So we're excited. It's an exciting time of year for us. I got my playoff beard going because at NFL Films, it's really like we're thrown right into the frying pan. Steve Sable used to say that our Super Bowl starts in August, is the way he used to say it, unlike the rest of the league. So it's a fun kickoff to the season, gets everybody going.
What's your role on the show this season?
So this year, I'm just a segment producer. I'm kind of working on a chunk of the show here and there on this first episode of the 5, and then I'll be back on it again for the 5th episode that wraps this August series in leading up to Labor Day. I got to catch myself. So last year, I'll give you even a little more backstory. Last year, after all those years of doing it in summer camp, we did it during the regular season. The Indianapolis Colts were featured during the regular year for the last 8 weeks of the season. Same setup. We were embedded real time, but it was the drama of the regular year. And this year we're doing it again with Arizona in the fall. So that's why I'm trying to keep it all straight. But Hard Knocks has become part of the DNA down here at Films and across the whole league.
It's hard for any show, whether it be entertainment, whether it be comedy, whether it be sports, to have that type of longevity to continue season after season to pump out this content. What do you think Hard Knocks has been able to do to connect with football fans that summer in and summer out, they keep coming back to seeing what's happening?
I think it speaks to the overall power of football and people's interest in football. And I think it's easy to say it's a football show or it's a sports show, but what Hard Knocks has evolved into, and it's really helped, I think, impact all of our filmmaking and NFL Films, is it's really it's a storytelling show. So it transcends football. It moves off the field. I think it's one of our most widely watched in terms of demographics shows that we produce, just because of the human elements that we're able to capture and tell, whether it's family members, whether it's children, the wives and children of coaches who are moving around and coming in and out of these camps and franchises, rookies, guys trying to make the team. There's so many human stories that get brought to the fore on this show. Football is definitely the umbrella they fall under, the ecosystem, if you will, but it's emotion, and it's also become a pop cultural thing, the way we can really examine. You can see the evolution of what players are into, whether it's music or fashion, based on what they walk into the locker room with on a given morning during August.
It's been a while since we've seen a New York team featured, but when the most recent time a New York team was featured, it involved the New York Jets and then coach Rex Ryan, who provided some of the most memorable moments in the history of the show. Take us back to that Jet season, some of your favorite memories of why Coach Ryan and that team stood out.
I think Rex and the Jets, it was a lot of the things I've touched on all at once, and I think amplified by, of course, the New York element to it. People forget they were an AFC Championship caliber team a couple years in a row when Rex was there. So this was one of the best teams in the league. They had some of the best players in the league, including Darrelle Revis at the time. And if you remember that summer, I think it was 2010, there was a contract. He was under contract, but there was a renegotiation type storyline. The storyline ended up being one of the stories of the whole summer for the whole league. And so it was an opportunity for us to be following something in real time that people wanted to follow. Traditionally, you'd be in the newspaper, maybe on Sports Talk Radio or ESPN. But here it was, the cameras were behind the scenes in the Jets facility, and with their Revis's reps and all that, following as it happened. So I think sort of the confluence of all those elements made it a year where the show really almost took another leap. Again, you go back to starting in 2001. So then by 2010, it was the 5th or 6th season within that decade, but it really kind of grew over the course of that. And then the Jets thing just made it take off.
Now, the Jets season is so memorable, but New York Giants fans and Buffalo Bills fans, they're probably looking around and they might leave the comments underneath this video or on the TV feature thinking, hey, Paul, can we get my team featured on Hard Knocks? We've been waiting long enough. What's it going to take to get a team like the Bills or the Giants featured on a season?
Listen, I would love to do that. The Bills, I'm not a Bills fan officially, but I really am caught up in the Bill between the people in my life I know who are Bills fans, who I'm rooting for them. The way their season ended, which is, I hope that doesn't get forgotten. One of the great playoff games in NFL history. And then every story I hear about the Bills is all about the passion, right? There's not enough room at training camp for the fans to come see it. There's not enough seats in the new stadium for all the people who want to build tickets or buy tickets. I mean, the Bills are sort of to me, they're the story of the year. I wish we could be at their camp right now.
St. John Fisher College would love to have you guys, whether it's there, whether it's a little further west in Buffalo, whatever the future might be. I know you've had always some great projects going on, and the cool part about talking to you is that not only are you doing these great things for NFL Films, but you had this opportunity to tell stories not just nationally, but at times regionally and with some capital region connections for this new audience that might be learning about your career for the first time. Tell us about some of those stories that you might have been able to feature your hometown in the 518 in the capital region in the past.
Sure. So I've been really fortunate. Been able to work up in Albany. Some of the times it was just interviewing Bill Parcells upstate and with his connections to Saratoga and horse racing. And for a Tom Coughlin film I made, did a short feature about a longtime Giant fan who was actually Wellington Mara's pen pal. Did a story about a guy named Charlie Lee who went to Albany High School and was the only player we can find that we know of that in NFL history who went from high school and signed an NFL contract right out of high school. He signed a contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1965, went on to be part of the 72 Dolphins, won 2 Super Bowl rings with the Dolphins. He was on that dynasty team in the early 70s. I actually have one going right now. It's a little bit further south, but if Patriot fans remember, of course they do, Scott Pioli, who helped build their dynasty, he grew up in a town called Washingtonville down in Section 9. Of course, I'm from Section 2, but I learned it down in Section 9. He put out a tweet, and really, this is funny. This is how it goes. He put out a tweet last November, and he was commemorating what he called the 40th anniversary of the most inspirational, moving, significant championship of his life. And it was the championship he won at Washingtonville High School as a junior in high school. Well, I saw this tweet and I said, look at this guy's NFL resume. What could be so moving about this story? Well, this long story short, I reached out, connected with him, and now I'm doing a short feature on that year of his high school life and how it really became a foundation for the rest of his football journey. So, and got to go that's for us, that's not upstate, but it was upstate from New Jersey. So got to go see the town and the high school and do some shooting and really excited about that one. It'll be out this fall. So yeah, upstate New York is a football story rich place if you know where to look.
Well, Paul, we appreciate you taking the time with us. It is absolutely craziest. Like you mentioned, it is the Super Bowl feel. The season has started for NFL Films. It is exciting to have a Capital Region connection with one of the most popular shows on this summer for sports fans here in the 518. Thank you so much for doing this. I know Guilderland's going to be proud of your work as always. Appreciate the time, man. Enjoy the season coming up.
My pleasure, guys. Take care.